It is now day 7 and the final challenge of the Shadowmaster event. Let's take a look at what 2 decks I have to choose from today. So deck 1 is the Hive Inspired deck. So this is always a really strong option for getting the 30 score. And deck 2 is a new deck we haven't seen yet. This is a Stellar deck with cover and Xur focused on rock gameplay. It's actually a playstyle I'm quite familiar with. I've used Stellar quite a bit. This should also easily be able to get the 30 score because Estella gives a power bonus. She's also a really high health card, and even then some of the other cards in here like the cover and the Xur are quite high health cards, so it should be really easy to get over 30 with both of these decks. Let's take a look at what my opponent has. Okay, so they are using a Cabal line deck, which is quite a good deck, usually a very strong attacking option. But I think either of these decks should work fine. So let's just start with deck 1. Okay, and I already see that I have my wizard for round 6, which is a good start, and I have a hex guard for round 1, which is good. I don't want to waste this card now when I've nothing I can make inspired, so I'm just going to skip this turn. Because I just want to focus on making sure I get a high power bonus, I'm just going to play this rather than attacking my opponent. I could have used this to attack, but I won't at the moment. Yeah, I'm going to do this. This will get me the most inspired hive. So let's just play this. And then I can play this again, which will make another inspired hive. And then on my next turn, I might do this to buff 2 of them at random. Or I could, I could play this wizard and make this inspired. Or I could buff my existing hive. You know what? I'm going to make another inspired hive just to have as many as possible. I may as well just add the acolyte as well because I have spare energy. So 4 inspired hive is going to be a really big power bonus when I play this exotic. And I've lost one of them, but that's okay. That was part of the reason for wanting to make more, so that I have some spare. So now let's just play my exotic. Yeah, big power bonus, definitely puts me over 30. And a pretty easy win. So even though I've now completed this and I got the win with over 30, let's just do a game with round 2 just to try out both decks. Okay, so not the best starting hand. I don't see a Stella. I was about to say I don't see a Xur, but there's a Xur. I don't see cover. If my opponent is going to be making their line on the front row, that is really good for me. I can play this to start receiving power bonuses. When I make rocks on the front row, it will break up their line. And obviously, Estella benefits from the front row. So I hope they continue making their line on the front row. It looks like that's what they're going to do. Okay, so let's play Xur. Hopefully I can give him a buff later on. Now I'm going to play the cover, and hopefully this breaks up their line. That was probably the best possible placement they could have gone. Completely broke up their line. And I've even found a Stella, which is great. So now I'm going to play a Pandora next to my Xur, which will give me another rock. That's their front row now full up, which means they can't even make this turret effective because they can't get it in a 3-unit line. So they now have to go on the back row. I mean, at this point, I may as well just play Scory. I don't need to make any more rocks, the row is full. So yeah, let's just play Scory on the front row, just to spread my units across both rows. I'm already well over 30. He couldn't even use his exotic to attack me because he didn't have a 6-unit line. And now I'm going to play a Stella, buff one of my units. Really high score. That was probably the perfect game because they played their line on the front row.